heard today several of his friends have decided not to have any more relationship with him because he's been so rude about the royal family that they can't bear it. They think it's completely wrong. And they've just told him to get out of it.
And breaking right now, sources say Prince Harry is becoming increasingly terrified about the possibility of a Donald Trump victory. Let me bring in Prince Harry's biographer, Angela Levin. Now, Angela, so great to have you back on Outspoken today. What are you hearing? Because we know that there is this ongoing court case involving Harry and his immigration records. Do you think he is concerned about this growing threat of a Trump presidency?
Oh, yes, I think he's terribly concerned about it because, as we know, his relationship with Meghan is a little bit wonky, dodgy, and he's sort of stuck, isn't he? He hasn't really got a home. I don't think he seems to be much at home in Montecito, and he certainly can't rely on getting homes in London. He might be able to go into a hotel, but I don't think people want him. And I heard today several of his friends have decided not to have any more relationship with him because he's been so rude about the royal family that they can't bear it. They think it's completely wrong. And they've just told him to get out of it. So it's a good lesson. You can't actually behave badly to friends you've had for a long time and then suddenly expect them to come back and think that they would like all the rude things you've said. I mean, apparently they won't say what it is because it's been so rude. And so he's obviously in a very difficult place. But if he's done everything correctly, he's got no need to worry. If he hasn't, if he's been sheltered by Biden and co, if he hasn't done everything perfectly, then there will be trouble. I mean, the son of thing is he says that
Eric Trump.
yeah, Trump, they don't care actually because he and Meghan don't count for anything. But I read something in the paper this evening that actually his father has said that we'll have to see if they know something about the drugs. And if he's lied, they'll have to take appropriate action. So it's more serious than what Eric has said.
It's on the table. It definitely is on the table. And that's what's so fascinating to me. I mean, look, you're giving Harry the benefit of the doubt, I guess, because we haven't seen it. But if you just think about it practically, Angela, there is no way the guy wrote on his immigration entry form, oh, yes, I did lots of illegal hard drugs with Courtney Cox in America. Like, there's just no way he did that because there would have been a big concern and his lawyers would have said, are you absolutely crazy? What on earth are you doing? And he would have had immigration lawyers who were looking after this. But the problem is his stupidity, his arrogance, his front was actually writing about it in Spare because now he can't deny it. Or he's going to have to say, oh no, Spare was a whole load of made up nonsense, which, let's be honest, on the whole it was.
No, but he has said that. He's actually tried to get out of that and said, well, I said that sort of thing because I wanted to sell more copies. But that is incredibly dangerous. And I don't understand why nobody helped him. I don't know why Meghan didn't help him, because most people show something like that great big biography of himself for their partner to read. The company should have looked at it. The lawyer should have looked at it. There's plenty of people there who could have helped him. And I find it very strange. Either he absolutely decided he wanted that in there to prove what a sort of gay man
Cool
he
dude
is.
he is.
And or not. I mean, it's very difficult to understand it. He's made it very, very, very difficult for himself, as he had about shooting Afghanistan's. You know, why did he say that? Because more people are after him and he needs more protection, and that makes him very nervous.
Exactly. I mean, I'm sorry, the guy's a fool. can I just be honest about it, Angela? The guy is a fool because he's made such a big deal about his security, not having security. Then he goes and makes himself the number one target for the Taliban and for Al Qaeda. And we know that Al Qaeda is developing again in Europe. So the guy is a fool and he has put himself at risk. What's interesting, Angela, is what you're saying about his old friends, though, because there had been some hope that some of the friends in Britain who he had ghosted were going to be at least open to taking Harry back. But it's interesting. I spoke, this was a couple of months ago now, but I spoke to one of his old friends from back in the day, and God, they were so negative about him. They were so negative about him. And interestingly, they have all sided with William.
Yes, I'm not surprised at that. And I think they would also be with the royal family because they would have gone round, they would have seen them, they would have been able to analyse them themselves. And perhaps some of them were to do with them, the army, and they just find that very difficult. I think it was a very foolish thing to do. But to come back to people after a long time where you haven't been bothered with them and you didn't want any notice to be taken by them, suddenly to go back and want to see them again, people aren't going to be just sitting there waiting. And I think they feel rather snubbed. And so why should they actually drop everything and help him? Because I think he is in a very difficult time now, but that's his own fault.
And Prince Harry's not moving to Portugal after all?
No. This is very interesting, actually. I never thought they would be going to Portugal because I couldn't imagine Meghan would. But what they're going to do, that's their first house they've bought, and they're going into the property business. So they are buying lots of different of houses, small and big, and to make a load of money. So they'll use the Netflix money that they have, and they can then, keep people in there.
So it's a financial play. It's a straight financial play.
Yes, it seems to be like that.
Okay, well, that's fine.
I think that, well, that's all right. I don't know whether they would actually pop into their house that they're getting and just see the cousins, but I don't think they will, actually. I think that was just another thing to get them on the front pages.
But I think it's really important we get to the breaking news now, which is that Queen Camilla is unwell. She has been forced to pull out of Thursday's Field of Remembrance with a chest infection. She's going to be represented by the Duchess of Gloucester. But Buckingham Palace has released a statement today saying the Queen is currently unwell with a chest infection for which her doctors have advised a short period of rest. With great regret, Her Majesty has therefore had to withdraw from her engagements for this week, but she very much hopes to be recovered in time to attend this weekend's remembrance events as normal. She apologises to all those who may be inconvenienced or disappointed as a result. And we're told, Angela, that Her Majesty the Queen is currently resting privately at home. Now, look, usually you could argue, oh, minor illness, but given everything we've gone through over the past few months, number one, we know that the royal family don't like pulling out of events. And number two, we know that sometimes when things are bad, we're not told about it. So you are the biographer of Queen Camilla. What can you tell us about her health?
Well, I mean, she was a very, very heavy smoker. So that actually leads her to be more vulnerable towards chest things. She's had COVID twice, and she has often, not often, but occasionally she does have to retire because she's got something wrong in her throat or something like that and chest. And I think she needs to be really careful. The problem was that when she was in Australia, that it was pouring with rain and she never moved. She didn't try and get out of it. And when they were just flying home, the rain was just bolting down, and it was very just what you don't need if you're in your late 70s and you've got a very long flight. And I think that's probably what's given her a chest. But the at the remembrance, it was very important to her because her father was a war hero, and the two of them were very, very close, and she admired him so much. And he got two awards. And I think that she would have come if she can, but I think she's got to be very careful. And, you know, if you get a bad throat or chest, you can, if you're older, be much more easily taken by pneumonia. And we don't want that at all. So she really does need to be very careful and to rest. I mean, they were both working incredibly hard. And in a way, it shows that, you know, King Charles went terrifically, strongly there. But I mean, she maybe is a little more fragile and has worked so hard, you know, the tiredness of being different time and non-stop working, loving it. But actually, it is a lot for someone of her age and vulnerability.
Also, big news about Catherine, the Princess of Wales. Revelations that she has actually become more interested, quote, in her faith after being diagnosed with cancer and undergoing chemotherapy. Now, of course, Catherine revealed her diagnosis in March, and a friend of the family tells Robert Hardman for his new book, I would say that things are more hopeful there. Now, they say hopeful, I guess, because the late Queen Elizabeth II, was always quite horrified that Prince William wasn't particularly keen on religion. And the book actually describes him as a modern young man and says he gets embarrassed by certain aspects of ceremonial and religion. So this is nice, isn't it? Catherine turning to God. I guess it's something that happens a lot when you go through one of those really difficult periods. But you say, Angela, that she has always been interested in faith.
Yes, I mean, she was a child. She would go to church, and I think she enjoyed it, and I think she's somebody who would appreciate that. Now, also, you know, her father-in-law, King Charles, is a devoted religious man, and I think that over the time that they have had cancer and all the treatments, they can talk and really help each other. I don't think for a moment he would try to persuade her to come to church. But she has actually, they went up just a couple of months ago to Scotland, just the two of them. And she went to church with her father-in-law, and William came too. So, I mean, he is supporting her, which is very good, because often people who don't feel that they want to go to church don't turn up, but he's absolutely there for her and will look after her in any way. And I think she's probably thanking God for keeping her alive and for her to be with her children. We don't know how badly ill she was, but because she's still having treatment, or not actual treatment for cancer now, but they're watching her very, very carefully, and she has to be, she can't work anywhere near as much as she would like, that she's very grateful that she's alive. I think anyone who has a really bad illness and recovers that, they are more than double happy to be alive still and to appreciate, you know, the trees, because she loves nature even more than she used to. The trees, the grass, and all the nature, and very it calms people and makes them feel that the world is worthwhile.
Yeah, beautifully put. Angela, you're being told that Harry's pursuit of legal action against the Home Office is
Yeah.
putting or blocking any hope of a reconciliation with the king.
Yes. Well, apparently the king, as any father would feel, he wants to get closer to his son, and he does really want to see the grandchildren. But it's very difficult for him to do that, because if there was that connection, they maybe the Home Office would bring him into the problem of what's going on and actually involving taxpayers with paying for Harry's safety when he's not doing anything for the royal family. I think that's the problem, and I don't think he wants to get tied up with that. And also, Harry keeps on about he wants an apology for Meghan, and he wants some sort of statement about closing how much money he should get from his father, as if it was a business and he'd been sacked, that he would want money to benefit him. But I don't think King Charles is going to do that. I think there's quite strong things around him, particularly William, and he doesn't want to upset William. He doesn't want to put William off, and he's actually doing brilliantly at the moment. And William wants nothing to do with Harry, and for two reasons. One is that Harry wants to look after their younger two children because he doesn't want to get them to be like him, spare, but they don't want Harry, or William definitely doesn't want Harry interfering with his own family. And the other one is that he can't forgive him for what he said about Princess Catherine. And it was appalling, saying that she was just the right shape and
Oh, it was
personality
awful.
fitted into the royal family.
It was
He
awful.
married for love.
Well,
And
look,
I think, William has hated that. And you can see that they are very close to each other. In any case, it's not something you would ever say
no.
about your brother or your
No.
sister-in-law.
Well, look, I want to talk more about that, Angela, in the Uncancelled After Show, which you can subscribe to on my Substack. Now, Angela, can we just talk about Prince William in South Africa? It's just amazing seeing him grow into his role, become so much more confident, and even just the way he looks, the way he dresses, the way he engages with people, something has really changed for William over the past year. Maybe it's because things were put into perspective during Catherine's cancer battle. But if we have a look at him in South Africa, I think you'll know what I mean. Angela, talk to me about this trip.
Well, I think he's absolutely delighted to be there. He's very, very keen on the Earthshot Prize, and he wants to go over there and talk to young people for all their ideas, because they are the future. That's what he feels. And if they come up with really good ideas, each of them gets £1 million divided up to help them over a year to produce the idea that they've got. What I find very interesting is that what he said to the young people who he was talking and joking with was almost exactly what Prince Harry said in September when he went to New York and was talking about the Diana Awards, that it's actually the young people that make things great for you. And this is what Prince William said: "You are the future change makers, the leaders, the people going to make the difference going forward." And I think that's what he feels. He's very keen to move forward and not let all the bad things in the air affect us more than it absolutely has to. But what I found extremely interesting and sort of half hidden is that he has got an amazing new job. Yesterday, he was seeing Ramaphosa, is his name? Yes,
Yes,
that's right.
the president, right?
Yes, the president of South Africa. And he was delighted to see him. But it's described in the most extraordinary way that Foreign Secretary David Lammy was there. The meeting was called the highest level engagement to help cement a really important bilateral relationship. Kensington Palace has said the meeting with the head of state was now a golden thread running through all Prince William's overseas visits. Now, that to me sounds as if he's going to take a load of weight away from King Charles. I mean, it's extraordinary. They're putting him there as a young king without the crown, sort of.
So
And I
he's
think
stepping
it
up.
sounds...
He is stepping up. And he's doing a great job, Angela. That's the thing. There was a little
Yeah.
cute detail as well, actually. If we just have a look at this story from the Mail Online, and it said Charlotte's gift to her papa
Yeah.
was a friendship bracelet. And look, there William is, and you can actually see up close, there is the bracelet. And you know, this is the big trend, Angela, because it's a Taylor Swift thing, isn't it? And there they are at Taylor Swift. And so they used it together. And while you're talking about that, Angela, I'm just going to show you some of the other pictures of Prince William, because I just think you'll see how confident and happy he was looking. This was yesterday when he was playing a rugby game, but it's really just a different sort of William.
What's interesting in that now is that he was always quite shy and quite introverted, and now he finds it very easy. I mean, when he goes up and these two young boys rushed up to him and was going to beat him and play football and fight him, and he just let them do it as easy as possible. There they are. And he was laughing and he enjoyed it. And he finds it now much, much more easy to talk to people. And he's very gentle and he's kind. And he feels this is, I'm sure, this is what he feels he wants to do. And he's got it. And I think a lot of that is thanks to Catherine, because he didn't want to be king when they first met at university. He thought it was boring. He didn't want to cut ribbons and none of that. But I think the two of them together have worked out how you can do something valuable, what you like, that's really important, and do that with great ease. And your position gives you an enormous amount of time and energy to help in a way that you couldn't if you weren't on the royal family. Camilla feels this. She feels that she's very lucky so that she can help all sorts of people in a whole range because of her position. And I think that they both enjoy that too. And now Catherine can't do very much. I think he very gently is taking on a whole persona, different persona, so that he has developed with this. And as soon as she can come back for anything, she'll be there. But in the meantime, she doesn't have to feel bad that he's taking over and doing his absolute best. And for his father, that they can feel that actually the next, that's a lovely picture, the next monarch is him, and they don't have any concerns.
No, I totally agree, Angela. I've never seen Prince William looking as confident in public as I saw him this week in South Africa.
One of the most striking comments to emerge from the latest royal discussion was the suggestion that Prince Harry no longer has a place he genuinely considers home. Critics argue that Harry has effectively severed many of his connections to Britain while never fully establishing a comfortable identity in California. Since leaving royal duties in 2020, he has spent years criticizing the institution he once represented, while simultaneously struggling to build a new public role in the United States. According to royal observers, this has left Harry in a difficult position. Britain was where he grew up, where his friends lived, and where his identity was formed. Yet many of those relationships appear to have deteriorated in recent years. Meanwhile, California may be where he resides physically, but commentators argue that he still appears disconnected from the culture and lifestyle he now inhabits. The result, they claim, is a man caught between two worlds. The discussion then turned to Harry's former friendship circle. For decades, Prince Harry was known for maintaining a close network of school friends, military colleagues, and longtime companions. Many of those friendships survived scandals, royal drama, and years of public scrutiny. However, several royal commentators now believe that many of those relationships have either weakened significantly or disappeared altogether. Some former friends reportedly struggled with Harry's public criticisms of the royal family, particularly after the release of his memoir Spare and the Sussexes Netflix series. Others are said to have become uncomfortable with private conversations becoming public discussion points. Whether entirely accurate or not, the perception has emerged that Harry's old support network is considerably smaller than it once was. For someone who spent most of his life surrounded by familiar faces, that change could be significant. Another key issue raised was Harry's evolving public image. During his years as a working royal, Harry enjoyed remarkably high approval ratings. He was widely viewed as relatable, charismatic, and committed to charitable causes. However, public opinion has shifted dramatically in recent years. Polls in both Britain and the United States have shown declining support for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, particularly following their repeated criticisms of the royal family. Some commentators believe Harry has become trapped in a cycle where each attempt to explain his position only creates further controversy. Instead of moving beyond past grievances, critics argue that he continues to be defined by them. Looking ahead, many observers believe Harry faces a critical choice. He can continue focusing on past disputes and royal grievances, or he can attempt to redefine himself through new projects, charitable work, and independent achievements. The challenge is that public patience may be running thin. Audiences increasingly want to see results rather than explanations. They want to know what Harry stands for now, not simply what he left behind. Whether he can successfully rebuild his public image remains one of the biggest questions surrounding the Sussexes today. So what do you think? Has Prince Harry become increasingly isolated since leaving royal life? Do you believe his friendships and support network have genuinely collapsed, or is this simply another example of exaggerated royal commentary? And what do you make of the claims that Harry no longer feels truly at home anywhere? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest royal news and analysis. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.